a Thomas, but there is a Thomas quite close to me, I promise.
Oh yeah. So we see your presentation. You can start your presentation. You have 3 minutes.
Brilliant, thank you. First off, we are delighted to join you here and can only hope the weather is as good with you as it is here in London. I'm delighted to be presenting on behalf of Inferstat, which offers predictive research tools. So let's break that down and let's start talking about trading. I think we can all have assumptions about how markets are going to move, and we can actually base a lot of our trades on these assumptions. For example, considering the amount of coffee that I drink, I might guess that the price of coffee could be predicted by the price of tea. Now, I can absolutely bring all that information together, I can get a signal, and I can try and start analyzing whether or not that assumption is true. There's a big
Sorry,
problem with
Joel.
that.
I just have a small technical problem. Like it's something strange with your microphone. Maybe I don't know. Like something. Yeah, it's like we cannot hear you almost. I don't know. Maybe you could change
You
something in the
cannot
settings.
hear me. Shall I dramatically shout louder? Is that a bit helpful?
I don't know. Like
Microphone not
something
working?
just we cannot hear you properly. Maybe you can
Could you
change to
get more
the
like
headphones.
earphones? This is the joy of Zoom. It's been a year of pandemic, and yet still we're having problems with all of our audio. So someday I hope this will work. How about now?
Oh,
Good?
it's
Better?
really better.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. Then
Yeah.
I will have
Sorry.
a dramatic
Yeah. So.
microphone next.
Yeah. Sorry for interruption. Yeah. You can continue.
No problem. Let me see how far we got. Well, let's find out. We could assume that there is potentially a relationship between coffee and tea, but the question is, how can we find it? But the problem, much bigger than that, is almost anyone can have access to that information. The key thing is to find your edge in the market. Now, if you're a large hedge fund, you can rely on very customized software to exploit very large data sets to find statistical relationships. But if you're actually one of those systematic personal traders, you need to locate the niches within the unique expertise or the unique data that you have, or which have barriers to much larger participants. This is where Inferstat comes in. Inferstat is offering and building the world's most accessible institutional grades trading analytics online tools for systematic personal traders. InferTrade is our very, very first tool. It's actually live right now. We have a minimum viable product, which is offering a very high grade tool with customization and statistical analysis superior to many others currently on the market. Users are getting analysis in under a minute for any market, for any signal, for any time. It offers backtesting and optimization. So trying to get the very, very best strategies on the settings that we have available. Again, you can upload any data whatsoever. You can find your edge using any Excel or CSV file, or you can even import from other platforms. It analyzes different trading strategies, different relationships, and it even, again, offers customization as to what kind of strategies that you can have available to you to, again, find your edge. All of this is in less than 45 seconds, so you can get analysis in less than a minute. Critically, as I think I have less than a minute to talk, let's talk about how Inferstat is actually going to make money. So first off, we're going to be delivering a highly accessible tool that is free for private and retail traders. The next step is, well, what we're doing right now, which is we're focusing on accessibility because we're going to be offering B2C targeted API licenses. When you find the tool and you have that commitment, that love of that tool so much that you want to bring it to an industrial level, then we're going to have that API licenses available. Next step is we're going to invest all of those revenues into performance so we can really compete with the hedge funds, with the large institutions for customized B2B API licenses and services for those financial institutions. I stopped timing myself, but I'm pretty sure I'm coming up to 3 minutes, and I'd actually prefer to really have a chat with you as to what you want to find out more in terms of Inferstat. I'm delighted also to welcome the co-founder of Inferstat, Thomas Oliver, who I promise was here the whole time.
So yeah, let's go straight to the Q&A section.
I would love to understand a little bit more in detail. How do you bring these customers onto the platform before you have any integrations? And how does that affect the algorithm essentially of how precise that, because I guess it works on scale, right? The more people are on it, the more search is being done, the more accurate it will be. Or is that sort of a wrong assumption?
It's independent of scale in the sense that this is an analytic statistical tool that works independently on each user's data. We don't retain the user's data, so we're not using it to predict trends in the market. It's finding them a strategy that they can implement on their own execution platform they already use that is independent. We don't know whether they're executing or not. It's privacy first.
And then customers essentially bring their own integration to the platform.
They can use their existing, so this is designed for experienced traders who are already trading via API or other setup. So we find them a strategy. That implementation can use our open source Python library, but if they like the strategy, they were using C#, they can implement it directly in code. So we're giving them all the formulas, giving them parameter settings. If they want to, they can code it up independently. If they use Python, it's really fast for them. They can use our open source library.
So do you need to be a very, very experienced trader to make use of this, or is it for the everyday trader as well, if you want to be very relaxed?
So currently it's designed for experienced traders who are already implementing their code in Python primarily, or in another language. And there are other sites such as Trality where you can have code up your trading bot, you can implement it. So people who are already using their trading strategies in an existing execution platform, they can use Inferstat to find new strategies. So there's the difficulty of execution of your strategy, but there's finding the strategies in the first place that give you profits and give you returns.
Awesome. Thanks for clarification. Appreciate it.
Yes. What type of feedback have you received from users, potential customers, investors, and so on? And what have you learned from that feedback?
We've had feedback primarily from two ends, which is people who are brand new to trading and people who are sort of statistical traders who are doing experience trading. Statistical traders want more features, and their main complaint is the difficulty of implementation. The people who are enthusiastic, who are start-off traders, they are not really an area we can support because they don't have an edge in terms of a predictive signal that will actually give them a profitable trading rule. So the most important feedback we've had is from experienced traders, and the execution has been a difficulty for them because we find them something in a minute or 2 minutes, and then they have to spend 30 minutes or 45 minutes coding that, connecting that. So what we're trying to do right now is to work backwards and say, give us what strategies you're using, we'll put them straight in the platform privately, and then we'll find those strategies based on your existing strategies. Then there's no implementation time for them, and we expect that will improve the traction with users.
And in terms of go-to-market, how do you plan to find these experienced traders and how do you want to approach them?
So the key system which we think is efficient in terms of marketing spend is talking to influencers. There's a lot of YouTube channels, often with only 2,000, 4,000 viewers, which is not huge in terms of scale. But if we talk to them, we do a joint video with them, they like the tool, they use the tool, we can give away API keys to their users, their patrons, and in addition, we can explain the tool effectively through their channel. So we've been talking to various influencers. So far, we haven't paired up with one who's a good match, but we think that's still a good approach for the marketing.
Thank you. You're perfectly on time. Thank you for your pitch. Really appreciate having. Really happy to have you.